there, folks. Today, I'm going to talk about being good. Specifically, I'm going to make a rational case for why it's better to be a good person who does good things and is generally nice to be around. This is a case that does not rely on any inherent ethics. It's a purely rational, self-oriented case. Because I think there's an awful lot of good reasons to be a good person that have nothing to do with any external sense of ethics. Of course, those are good too. But here we are. I'm going to go through 6 reasons to be good. Being good feels good. We human beings are members of a social species. Therefore, it behooves us as a species to help one another. Therefore, there's a part of our brain that lights up when we do a good thing. It rewards us. It's when people say doing good is its own reward, they're saying something that is true, but it sounds misleading. It sounds like somehow you get a reward. No, it feels good. Virtue is its own reward in the same way that eating a chocolate bar is its own reward. You don't need another reason to do it, it just feels good. Being good makes you feel like you are a good person. And absolutely nobody can do without that. Even the most seemingly amoral, selfish person on some level feels their actions are justified. Even if the justification is only the world is a harsh place and I want to be a winner instead of a loser. So, if you do good things, it will feed your sense of being a good person. And that is vitally necessary to your self-worth as a human being, as a member of a social species. The more good you do, the more good you will feel about yourself. And therefore, you will feel better not just at the time you do the altruistic thing, but on a long-term basis. It's as though you're investing in your own ego. Being good makes other people like you. It makes them like you in a way that makes them more likely to help you in the future, or to cooperate with your plans, or in general just to do things for you out of the blue. It's no guarantee, of course, but and some people have no sense of gratitude at all. But you might actually end up benefiting on a purely selfish level from making other people around you like you and feel happy when you're around because you're a good person who does nice things. Learning to control your baser urges, your urges to attack or undermine or whatever, is very good practice because anything significant requires self-restraint, requires the ability to take pleasure in the advancement of a long-term goal as opposed to always seeking immediate gratification of whatever emotion you have any feeling at the time. So, restraining your lesser urges in order to be a nicer person is actually good practice for restraining whatever might get in the way of your more important long-term goals. Doing good promotes the kind of positive attitude towards the world that has been scientifically proven to make you healthier on a both physiological and psychological level. People with a positive attitude towards life, they live longer, they don't get sick as much, they bounce back from life's curveballs much faster, and in general, they just have a hell of a lot better time in the world. And doing good things will do that for you. It will help you see the world as a positive place, where good things can happen, and you can make them happen, and be a good person. And number 6, by being a nice person, by being a good person, you make sure that you accumulate friends, or at least people who are well disposed towards you, instead of enemies. There is no person so powerful, so tricky, so devastatingly intelligent that they can afford to just keep making enemies. Because the thing is, the more enemies you have, the more likely they're going to get together to try and find some way to fuck you over. And if you've really made a lot of enemies and they really hate you, they will sacrifice their own self-interest just to bring you down. Now that's just not some way anyone can afford to live. Whatever you achieve, there's going to be people waiting in the wings just to stab you in the back. Whereas if everyone who meets you comes away liking you, or mostly everyone, then you don't have that problem. You get the opposite effect. People actually want you to do well. For all these reasons, and probably more than I can't think of right now, even the laziest, most self-indulgent, most selfish, most perverse part of me, the least moral part of me, thinks that anyone who doesn't get the idea that it's way better to be a good person is just plain stupid. Why would you make your life more difficult by developing a bad attitude and then act like you're somehow surprised when that bad attitude is reflected back at you? Those are my rational reasons, my rational, amoral reasons for being a good person. Of course, if you have actual ethics, you don't need those. But they're a good thing to think on when your ethics are feeling a little thin. When you're under temptation, I guess would be the old school way of looking at it. Those are my thoughts for today, folks. Talk to you later.